Are you or a loved one disabled? Do you feel alone, lost, and confused as to how to win your Social Security case? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you have so many questions and you're desperately looking for the answers. Hi, my name is Avi Libovic, and I'm the owner at Benefits for All and the lead attorney at Avi Libovic and Associates. Over the course of my 20-year career, I've overseen the processing and screening of over 500,000 disability cases, working with the largest hospitals, neighborhood clinics, primary care physicians, and even individuals who had no access to care at all. My strategies for how to win the case have made me one of the top experts in Social Security law in the entire nation. My life and my career were going great. And then one day it all came crashing down. It started first with some abdominal pains. And before I knew it, I'd been admitted to the hospital several times and I required multiple surgeries. I found myself unable to work and disabled and in desperate need of my own benefits. I understand exactly how you feel. I was in your shoes. And I'm going to take you through the process and help you and give you everything that I know so that you can win your case. I'm recovered and I'm back at work. And I have a newfound passion for helping disabled people because I myself have been there too. Call our office today for a free screening and to see how we can help you with your Social Security case. At the same time, enjoy these videos and webinars that we've prepared to help you understand how to win your Social Security case. Hey everyone, this is Avi Libovic and you're watching another amazing webinar brought to you by Benefits for All, where we teach you how to win your Social Security disability case without having to pay the costs of an expensive attorney. Today's topic is the approval rates for Mississippi. I'm standing here at the Rest Center, just came over from New Orleans into Mississippi, looking forward to a terrific day tomorrow in Mississippi, getting to know the towns, the communities, driving through as much as I can, seeing some of the Social Security offices, some of the ODAR offices, and I'm so happy that I have the privilege to go from state to state, from coast to coast, to try and go and visit all these communities and all these Social Security offices, and one by one to go ahead and get a little bit accustomed to your community, so that way when you call me and you say, hey, Avi Libovic, can you help me out? Can I trust you on my case? How do I know that you're the real thing, not just some guy from the internet? The answer is that I've taken the time to get in my car and go through this terrific country of ours and go state to state, as many counties, countries, states as I can, cities as I can. And that way when you talk to me, you'll get a sense and a feeling that I've been there and I've made that effort and it's legitimate and it's real. With that in mind, you've watched the webinars, you've taken the time to learn a little bit about SSI and SSDI, and you're wondering yourself, so where do I stand? I live here in Mississippi, I want to apply, am I going to win, am I going to lose, what are my odds, right? Anyone who would go to Vegas, they go to Atlantic City, they're going to gamble, you want to know, am I going to win or am I going to lose, right? So what's it going to be? So let's talk about it. Let's jump right into it. We know, just because it makes it easiest to lay out the state win rates as such, there's an application, there's a reconsideration, and then there's a hearing. Yes, we know there is a Social Security Administration Appeals Council in case you don't like the judge's decision. And yes, we know that there's a federal district court if you want to appeal even the Appeals Council decision. But for the most part, we're going to deal with just the application, the reconsideration, and the hearing. So let's talk about what those win rates are. So nationally, if you were to apply for Social Security disability benefits, whether it was SSI, right, Supplemental Security Income, or SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, right? If you applied nationally and you take the average of the highs and the lows of the favorable states and the unfavorable states, of the winning states and those states that are very conservative, that are losing, they're not as liberal, you're going to find that the average approval rate at the application level is 32.1%, right? 2016, 32.1%. Where does Mississippi come in? Well, that's a problem. I go to so many states and I'm very enthusiastic. I say, you have a great win rate. You're above the national average. It's going to be terrific. When I come to Mississippi, you're not above the win rate, the national average. The national average was 32.1. You guys are hovering at 24.8. And we're going to come back and talk about why is there only a 24.8 win rate in Mississippi. After the applications denied. You have 60 days, as we know, to request a timely reconsideration on your appeal, on your application. The national win rate for the reconsiderations is 11.3, and the Mississippi win rate for reconsiderations is 6.5, also below the national average. Now that doesn't surprise me that it's such a low number, because what Social Security Administration tries to do is they try to weed out those cases which are not the strongest cases, right, at the reconsideration level. They can't stop anyone from applying, but they certainly just can discourage you from trying to request a hearing before a judge. How do they do that? By just denying you and beating you down and denying so many of them. People say, you know what? Forget this. I already did 6 to 8 months in my application. Now I put another 4 to 6 months into my reconsideration. And you're telling me that only 24.8 are going to get approved at the application level, and you're telling me only 6.5 is going to get approved at the reconsideration level? Who wants to file appeal? 100 appeals, about 100 appeals, only 6.5 of them or 7 of them are going to get approved. Very few people, and that's exactly what Social Security is trying to do. They're trying to trim down, right? They're trying to trim down the number of cases that make it to the ALJs. There's a backlog. There aren't enough judges. Right? There isn't enough manpower to handle the volume. So they're trying to trim it down and separate the good from the bad, the winners from the losers, the disabled from the healthy. And that really hits hard in the reconsideration, because they say, listen, if you put 6 to 8 months in the application and you put another few months and 4 to 6 months at the recon, let me tell you something. In the rest of the country, it takes a year to request a hearing, right? In Alabama, it takes actually, the average is 349 days to request a hearing. In Mississippi, it takes 352 days. It's 356 days for a year. It's 352 days. It takes you a year. So think about it. We said 6 to 8 months for the application, 4 to 6 months for the recon, and then a year for the hearing. This whole process could take 2.5 years. Who wants to spend 2.5 years? So that's what Social Security does. They make it very difficult, the reconsideration. They make it very difficult to be inspired and enthusiastic and want to move forward. And they do that by really getting very conservative and having a very low number. 6.5, 7 people out of 100 will get approved at recon. What is the win rate for those people who want to go to have a hearing before administrative law judges? The win rate, referring to my notes, I apologize, easier than reading off a piece of paper in the dark. The win rate nationally is 58.3 at hearing before a judge, 58.3. And the win rate for Mississippi is 50.8. 50.8, also below the national average for the rest of the state. So you're probably sitting there, if you're a resident of Mississippi, whether you're homegrown or whether you moved on over there, you're probably sitting there saying, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? This is very serious. I was getting excited by your webinars. I believe that I'm disabled, but now you're telling me that I have such low chances of winning. You're telling me on my application, the chances of winning in Mississippi at application is what? We said it's only 24.8%. Then you tell me my chance of winning at recon is 6.5, and then you tell me my chance at winning at hearing is 50.8? That's a disaster. And the answer is it's not a disaster. It's only a disaster if you're not truly disabled. You see, if you're not truly disabled, I love you, and I understand that things are difficult for you, but you should try to go ahead and find the work that you need and surround yourself with positive friends and support group and family who's going to encourage you to go work. If you can work and you're physically able to work, as long as we live in a country that is not socialist, but it's capitalist, so to speak, the harder you work, the more money you make. People used to talk about that, President Obama was a socialist and he wanted to redistribute the wealth. And whether you agree on redistributing the wealth or not redistributing the wealth, whether you agree on taxing the wealthy as opposed to not taxing them, whether you feel that the 1% should pay for everyone else, that's a very good discussion piece. But the rules in America as they are right now is that it's a capitalist country. If you can work, you work. The more you work, the more money you make. The harder you work, the more you get ahead, and hopefully the more money you make too. So if you're able to work, you should work, at least according to the Social Security Administration. But if you can't work because you really are disabled, well, you're going to know, how disabled are you? Are you faking it? Are you really disabled? Are you constantly in pain? That it's just you and me here. No one's here. The shades are closed. The windows are closed. Tell me the truth. The door's closed. Are you really faking it, or are you really disabled? So you know that answer. I'll tell you what you need to do to fill out the forms and the process of what you need to do, but I haven't examined you. So if you really believe that you are disabled, you should move forward. Don't worry about the win rates. I don't care what every other than 99 people wrote in their application. I only care what you wrote in your application. And I told you we're going to use the right buzzwords. We're going to use the right language to make your application sparkle, to make your application stand out, to make your application be the 1 in 100, that the reviewer, that the person who's reviewing your application is going to say, This person, no doubt about it, they've convinced me they are disabled, they cannot work, they cannot earn SGA, they have a severe impairment suspected in the last 12 or more months and or result in death. They meet one of the listings, they can't return to their old job, they can't get any other job in the national economy. This person I have to approve. Their medical records are up to date. Their laboratories, their labs are up to date, their prescriptions are up to date, their prescriptions, not just for medication, but their prescriptions for assistive devices, whether it's 2 canes, whether it's 2 crutches, whether it's a walker, whether it's a back brace, whether it's a knee brace, whether it's an ankle brace, whether it's a wrist brace, whether it's an arm brace, whether it's a shoulder brace, whether it's an oxygen tank, whatever it is, we're gonna make sure that you have everything up to date, prescribed, and good to go. Because if you do that, then you will win your case. Now, if you can't really do that, because you think if you go to get a residual functional capacity questionnaire, an RFC filled out by your doctor, and if you think the doctor's going to say, no, I really don't want to be a part of this, I really don't think that you're disabled, well, then you have to ask yourself, well, why don't I want to work? And that's a different discussion. Because if you can work, then Social Security wants you to work. You don't have to work, but then you can't expect to have money. But Social Security wants you to work. So if you're in Mississippi and you really don't feel well and you really think that you're disabled, you move forward. You file that application based on these webinars. You file that reconsideration based on these webinars. You file that request for hearing based on these webinars. I understand it's concerning that there's a low win rate. My recommendation to you is that there is a webinar in the table of contents or on the state of the page that you can click that was from Seven Falls in Colorado Springs that had to do with on-the-record decisions. What on-the-record decisions are, how they work, how to use them, is something you're going to have to watch on that webinar. But I think if you used that and you wrote a letter, an on-the-record request to the judge prior to a hearing request, you might be able to circumvent a lot of this process. Many people don't realize that an on-the-record decision, while it's usually given to a judge because he has the hearing record, you can kind of use the same type of letter to just say, request for an expedited approval based on, listings. You could send that same type of letter to district office for an application or for reconsideration, and you're going to learn about that on that webinar. So here we are, friends. My name is Avi Levick. I'm going to teach you how to win. If you're from Mississippi, the state, the birthplace of America's music, right? Just think how much you're going to be singing, and you're going to be, just letting those melodies and those notes come out of your mouth when you win your case. Right? You're going to be having benefits for all. You're just going to be singing it. Avi Levick, you're going to be singing my name, singing the benefits for all name. You're going to be singing your name because you did it. Working together, we're going to teach you how to win your Social Security case, your disability case, without having to pay the cost of an expensive attorney. Go watch the webinars, get a tea, get a coffee if you drink the caffeine, or get a decaf. Go get some ice cream, go get a soup, go get something that you will enjoy, sit down in your bed, rest up, put your feet up, don't let those feet swell, whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. Take out a pad, take out a pencil, watch with your friend. Stream it, watch it live, download it, whatever you need to do on the app, on the phone, on the tablet, on the iPod, on the computer. Just watch it. And you're going to see how much these webinars help you. Okay, until next time, my name is Avi Levick, WWW and Benefits for All. Welcome to Mississippi. M-I, crooked I, humpback I, right? Did I get it right since I'm a little kid? Okay. Welcome to Mississippi. We're looking forward to tomorrow. Check out the Mississippi River and having a great day. And www.benefitsforall.com, Avi Levick. We will teach you how to win your Social Security disability case without having to pay the cost of an expensive attorney. Thank you very much.